Hey people, so this is going to be a review of Ollie Ollerton's biography. This is Breakpoint, Fear, Courage, Strength and Survival. If you don't know who Ollie is, I feel like I repeat myself with this thing, but he's from the TV show SES Who Dares Wins, basically. I've reviewed Ants and Foxes. I know there's another one. Ants come out with another one, and that other guy, I can't remember his name, he's got one out now as well. I don't know if I'll get that one or not. But anyway, so this one he taught, as I was saying, each one talked about different things. Ant was literally from the beginning to the end, so it's like childhood, about his childhood, obviously his time in, the military and stuff like that. Foxes was more about, I'll link the links down below of each review, but Foxes was more about, how he ended up getting, like, the moment he got PTSD and dealing with that and stuff like that. And then this one, which I'm about to talk to you now, so this one is more about his time being in the military and the end as well. And also his creation with a Breakpoint. And it turns out as well, he was already friends with Foxy before the show. And basically, Ollie had this idea for Breakpoint. If you've not heard of Breakpoint before, it's a company that he started up, and it's basically like I think corporate places use it as well, like business and stuff with their staff and everything like that. But basically, it's one of those outdoor activity things. Basically, it's supposed to like replicate a little bit of what it's like during the selection process of SES and stuff. So it's all about sort of like, activities and stuff like that. You can search on, the internet and stuff. I don't go too much into detail. But yeah, it isn't cheap though. If you want to do it, it's not cheap. But anyway, off that and how, he first contacted Foxy about this, and then how the show started, how Foxy was like, phoned up and was like, look, this cool idea that Channel 4 are doing, come do it with me. And it was like, yeah, okay. So him and Foxy were already sort of friends because they met in the military for a bit. So as I said, this book is more about like his time in the military and stuff. It was an alright read. Obviously, he goes in, like all of them will go into SES wins and mention some characters from there and stuff. Well, not characters, but some participants from there as well. There is something that I disagree with in this book, which he did kind of bring back. There was one line that kind of pissed me off. But basically, as you know, SES has opened up so women can apply as well to go through the selection process, and obviously they did it with the show as well, just to make it in line with real life and stuff. He kind of pointed how he disagreed with it. Now some of the points he made sense, but then I realised it didn't make sense at the same time, because women were fighting in the front line anyway, wasn't it, from something or another, 2006, I don't know, but they were all on the war zones. So when it was on about like mixing with blokes and how blokes react differently to women, I didn't really get that. And I don't really get, like, don't get me wrong, I don't know like everything about the army and stuff, but that bit didn't make any sense, because weren't they already mixing anyway? But there's one comment that really pissed me off, basically saying that women will never be as strong or mentally as men. Now, I didn't agree with it in two ways, but I half agreed with it. Obviously, a woman can never be technically as strong as a bloke, unless she's on steroids or she's some super freak. I get that notion, but I think the way he went about it was meant to be like, oh, and women will never be able to survive that SES selection. I think he did say that. No woman, like, what woman would want to go for an SES selection anyway? Which was a bit sexist, I'm not going to lie. Like, if I was in the army, I might have done, because I'm always somebody who's up for a challenge. So that kind of pissed me off a little bit sexist there. But I'll say a woman will always be strong. you know, to her best of her abilities, if she made the effort, okay, I agree they wouldn't be as strong as a male, but she can hold her own. And personally, I would say women are definitely more mentally strong than men. I'm just putting that out there. I am just putting that out there. I get what he meant, but I think he meant it in a more hatred thing. Like a woman would, like, basically saying a woman would never be able to survive, and it's like, yeah, whatever. And he did mention one point as well, is what would you do? Because obviously doing the SES selection and stuff, they go through interrogation. It was like, what would they do there, having a man? Like, obviously, the TV show's kind of stripped down a little bit, but having three men strip search a woman. But then again, it's her, she signed up for it. You know, that sort of thing? Like, you know what you signed up for? But it kind of pissed me off. Kind of pissed me off. So when I read the rest, it was near the end. So when I was trying to finish the book, I was just like, I'm just pissed off with that comment. I'm just pissed off with that comment, basically. But yeah, it kind of, that sort of thing kind of pisses me off, really. Because I'm the sort of person where I'm trying to prove a point here, where women can be as strong in her way, in her own way. Okay, maybe physically not as a bloke, but you know, in her own regards, a woman is quite strong. So that comment kind of pissed me off, and it's all this like sexist thing that happens anyway. Just to touch on it, one time when I used to train at one boxing gym, I won't mention the name or anything like that. It was like, if you know those rope things, I don't know the proper name for it, but it's like, if you're a girl, use one rope. If you're a guy, two ropes. It wasn't like you can just use it. Like I tried to use two, and I was like, just use one, which kind of pissed me off because I go to any other gym, I'll use two. It turns out anyway, he was a little bit of a perv. He has a girlfriend. Let's just leave it as that. We won't go into details of what happened, but let's just leave it as that. So it happens all the time, but it just I'm the sort of person that will do a boxing match with a transgender. A lot of women won't, but I would do it just for the challenge. I'm always trying to set the bar high and trying to break boundaries. I'm always trying to break boundaries when it comes to like athletics and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought that comment really pissed me off. Like, it got what he meant, but then it kind of pissed me off saying like no woman would survive. And it's like the SES selection that kind of pissed me off a lot, like quite a lot, pretty much putting women down. And it doesn't help, because the more people put women down, they will act the way society portrays them, and that's just really annoying, really. That's why I've literally, you know, I'm all about just women should be as strong as, like, don't be stuck in boundaries. But anyway, apart from that, ending on a slight, dip, on a low point, shall I say. I was looking for the word, so I just said dip. It was an alright read. It is an interesting read. I would say, just because it was kind of a bit repetitive, just because I've literally read 3 books now, most of the time, pretty much in a row, by these guys, you know, with the whole military service and stuff like that. So I didn't really enjoy it anyway, as much as the other 2 books. Nothing against Ollie or anything like that. It was just generally because it could have been just because I was reading them back to back, and maybe if you had more interesting information and stuff, you know, I don't know. It was like the same sort of format, if that makes any sense, as the others. But it was interesting to find out how Breakpoint started. Basically, he put that up in the middle of filming series 1, so that was interesting, and interesting to find that he was already friends with Foxy before the show as well. But yeah, that is it for this review, so bye guys.